Hey, all right. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this word and truth and in sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the elect, the 144,000, along with the mixed multitude of men, women, and children. Lord willing will be some of those men across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, as well as believing. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Howard from JMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And it was inspired by this video from, I'm not sure what brother this is, but his page is Endure These Last Days to Ba. All right. And the title of his lesson or title of his video was Doing Everything in Their Power to Exclude Themselves from Being Edomites. Right. And I'm going to play a little bit of this video to show you what these Amalekites think about Edom. Because we here, starting off with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, we constantly telling you about Esau, Edom. Esau is a people, is a nation. The Edomites are a nation of people, all right? It's not just one person. Like, and that nation of people are still here, just like the Israelites are here, because that's a part of prophecy. That's a great part of prophecy. The prophecy says in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9, it says, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? And when you look at it in the GNT, it says, now Esau is the end of this age. An age is a time period. And Jacob is the beginning of the age that follows. So the scripture says that Jacob, who his name was changed to Yasha Allah, or what you call Israel in the English, the Israelites would be what ruling in the next age to come, right? And we're living in prophecy, because right now who rules the world? The Edomites, starting with Amalek, who is who his top rulership on this earth would be those elite Edomite banking families who know that they're Edomites, right? But yet these so-called Jewish religious leaders, these rabbis, they give a different take on who Esau is, right? They claim that Esau is not a people, but basically it was the Roman Empire that it morphed into something else. You're gonna hear them say it, but they never attribute it to a people. At one point I believe some of these rabbis are saying that the Arabs were the Edomites, right? But who are these people? No, these are the Edomites that the Bible speaks of, and I want to prove it, Salaki. And again, I'm gonna use this video to prove to prove that Esau is a nation of people and not what these people say it is. Because again, like the brother said in his title of his lesson, what his video says, doing everything in their power to exclude themselves from being Edomites. Because when you use prophetic reasoning, meaning that you use the scriptures to reason, right, and the prophecies that are written in the scriptures to reason, you know that Esau is a nation. And there's no surprise that in this world, whenever they show historical fact, so-called fact movies, or they speak about these other nations, where they're being portrayed, Esau will portray himself to be every nation in the world, including the Israelites, right? But he will never make a movie uh, uh, um, portraying the Edomites, right? And the Edom have a story in the scriptures. They're the number one adversary to the Israelites, right? They're a nation of people, right? But when this shows you that these Edomites are liars, man. When you get to the precept of in Psalms, the book of Psalms, okay, chapter, I think it's like 58, verse 1 and 3. Let me see. Um, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 1. Well, I'll go start at 2. Yea, in your heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of the earth in your hands. That's right. This is called the prayer for the punishment of the wicked. This is the wicked is talking about Esau, Edom. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. What? Speaking lies. You know, and that's what Esau is about, lies and deception. He's deceived the nations, right? He's hid himself amongst the nations. It says in the NLT, these wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. And that's how the Edomites do, right? The Edomites, as soon as they're born, they start lying, you know? They go their own way. They go astray, right? And that's who the wicked are. You know, they deceive the nations, they deceive the world and believe into believing that the Edomites don't exist. That's why you have people like Vocab Malone, who are proponents for the, you know, the terrorist state of Israel, right? Um, to that, you know, that he believes that those are the Lord's people, and the way that they're acting is how the Lord's people should act, and all they're doing is defending themselves against other nations, right? You know, these people, they say that they're the victims of the earth, right? But when other people, other nations raise up and talk to speak about their victimization by these same people and people that look like them, you know, it goes unheard, you know, because again, it's a part of their deception. This part of their lies. You know, they speak lies. As soon as they be born, they go astray. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20. Book of Revelation 20, and well, I'll start at 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having a key of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe. All right. For a long time, that place was a resource empty place, right? And it says, and a great chain in his hand. So this is after the what you call it, the Roman Empire fell, the pagan Roman Empire fell, right? These Edomites, they were shoved into the caves of the earth. You know, a good amount of them came out of the Caucasus Mountains or went to the Caucasus Mountains. That's where you get these Ashkenazis from, right? The vast majority of these people that call themselves Jews are associate themselves with being Ashkenazi Jews, right? They came from out of the Khazarian Empire, right, near the Caucasus Mountains. Anyway, for 1,000 years, they were shut up. You know, that's another thing too. Like they never really go into the Middle Ages, and when they do speak about the Middle Ages, guess who they have portraying these people, these so-called black people, brown people from the Middle Ages? Guess who they have portraying them? Edomites. Even though history, even though yeah, history speaks otherwise. And I've did many videos proving that these Edomites use iconoclasm and you know, image replacement. Shit, they did it to our Lord. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. They did it to them. How much more the people, right? So it says Revelation 20 and 1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having a key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, right? Which is this is Esau, Edom. He's also that dragon, that Roman emperor, empiric dragon, right? That old serpent. He's also that old serpent from the garden, right? Without the pigmentation, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him in 1,000 years. This is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. This is talking about Esau, Edom. And that 1,000 year period was the Middle Ages. You type in how long did did the Middle Ages last, right? Right? 1,000 years. So this is the medieval era, often called the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages. This is when dark people were ruling. It wasn't a time of loss of power. I mean, it wasn't a time of intellectual and spiritual darkness. Not at all. It says the medieval era, often called the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, began around 476 AD, following a great loss of power throughout Europe by the Roman Empire. So these Edomites, they fell out of power, and they were calling themselves different nations back then. They were calling themselves the Greeks. When you look up Greek rulers or the Diodoce, the Greek Diodoce, right? Those four generals, Lysimachus. Let me see. Diodoce. Diodoce. Right. Yeah, the Diodoce, right? Which is where rival these rival generals, these Greek generals, they were Edomites, right? And you read about them in the Bible, right? At least some of them. It says the Diodoce, singular Diodochos, from the Greek successors. Who were they the successors of? Alexander the Great. It says were the rival generals and friends of Alexander the Great, who fought for control of his empire after his death, and that's in the scriptures. That before it was put into historical um, reference and information, it was in the scriptures, yo. It was in the scriptures, and it showed you this, and we know that um, Alexander his ancestors were Agagites, which were Edomites, right? Right. So like here, just type in generals. That's definitely not generals. This computer be acting up, right? The Diadochi generals were you had Ptolemy, Lysimachus, Cassandra, right? It says it right here, right? You had they were the Hellenistic kingdoms. Yeah, the Hellenistic kingdoms after the death of Alexander the Great. You had Seleucus, right? He had some Antigonus or Antigonus, right? He had a portion. Then you had Ptolemy, and then you had Cassandra and Lysimachus, right? They had a certain area, and they ruled, which was the known world at that time, right? All the way into India, okay, from the Mediterranean all the way into India, and even into northeast Africa, right? And then you look up pictures of these dudes, pictures of, let's say, pictures of Ptolemy. Ptolemy. So let me the first or uh Ptolemy Soiter. Right. This is an Edomite, a so-called white man, right? And even when you go to the Met Museum, you see him rocking that Pharaoh's hat, those Pharaoh or Egyptian garments, but he rocked that when they took that over. He took on the Egyptian culture, right? But this is a picture of him. So again, what was I at? I was reading some lock here. I was reading something. Oh, Revelation, right? So where was I at? The thousand long, yeah. So that 1,000 year period of them being nobody on the earth, that was a time where they were shut up and they couldn't do anything no more as a nation. Again, it says the medieval era, often called the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, began around 476 AD, following a great loss of power throughout Europe by the Roman Emperor. It says the Middle Ages span roughly 1,000 years, ended between 1400 and 1450, right? And that was around the time where Jake was getting pushed out of power and these Edomites were coming back into power. And really, 1492, that ended rulership of the Jakes in Spain or the Moorish Empire in Spain, which they never talk about. And you never learn about that in detail. All you learn about is Greek history, ancient Roman history, right? Right, when these Edomites was ruling. But this 1,000 year period is written in the Bible. All right. It says verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up and shut up and sealed and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. Because that's all Esau was doing, was deceiving the nations and destroying them, right? And taking them over. So for that 1,000 year period, they weren't allowed to do that till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, they must be loose a little season. So the Edomites came back into power after that season, calling themselves by other nations, because that's just something they did. When you read the book of Josephus, I found this. This is in a book of Josephus, right? In chapter the Flavius Antiquities, the Flavius Josephus of Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, right? And you go to chapter 5 right here. It says, after the manner of the posterity, Noah sent out colonies and inhabited the whole earth. It says right here. It says, after this, they were dispersed abroad in the account of their languages and went out by colonies everywhere. Each colony took possession of that land, and this is why uh, uh, Noah's sons, they inhabited different portions of the land after the flood, right? And it says, unto which the Most High led them, so that the whole continent was filled with them, with people, right? both inland and maritime countries. There were some also who passed over the sea in ships and inhabited islands, and some of those nations do still retain the denomination which were given them by their first founders, right? Because Japhet, they had Greek. I'm sorry, they had Greece. They were the original Greeks. They had Rome. They were the original Romans, right? They had Europe. They were the original Europeans. Okay, before they dwelt in the islands as people you call Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian people, right? They really are the sons and daughters of Japhet. Let's keep reading. It says, and do still to right, and some of those nations do still retain the denominations which were given them by their first founders, but some have lost them also, and some have only admitted certain changes in them, right? Because over time they lost their history, and some of them they made changes to that said history, right? That they might be more intelligible to the inhabitants, and they were the Greeks who became authors of such mutations. And these Greeks were these Edomites who were calling themselves Greeks at the time, after Philip of Macedon had conquered them, then really Alexander the Great, right? So it says, and they were Greeks who became the authors of such mutations. For when after ages they grew potent, they claimed to themselves the glory of antiquity, giving names to the nations that sounded well in Greek. That's why even Ethiopia, those are names. That's a Greek name. Ethiops. It comes from Ethiops, which is black or burnt face. Which you had Palestine. That was a name given to the land of Israel by the Greeks. They call it Palestinian. Okay, these are words that or names that the Greeks gave because they sounded well in Greek, that they might be better understood among themselves, and setting agreeable forms of government over them, as if they were the people derived as they were a people derived from themselves. So when these Edomites would conquer different nations, what they would do is they would set governments up. All right, you had governors set in Rome, all over the Roman Empire. You had governors of Greece set all over the Empire of Greece, right? As if they were the people that come from these lands. And they did it in Israel with Herod the Great, start with his father Antipater, okay, the Idumean, who had children within that land, and then his son Herod the Great married into the Hasmonean dynasty, and he took over, and he took on saying that he himself was a Jew, and he wasn't, right? Because this is what these nations do. These Edomites do what the scripture says the thief cometh not but to kill, steal, and to destroy. All right, and so that's what these nations do, particularly the nation of Edom. You know, he's everybody. He's everybody except Edom, and that's the truth. When you look at who he is, he's everybody except Edom. And that's what this video right here I'm gonna play. I know it's been 18 minutes. I really hope you've been sticking in there, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it right now.
And what will happen to them in the end times? Who does Esau slash Edom represent today, and what will happen to them in the end times?
Oh, so that's really easy. So Edom is Christendom. It is the implacable enemy.
Yeah, so basically these rabbis claim that Edom is Christendom, which Christianity is nothing but Edomite supremacy, with Edomites perpetrating themselves as the biblical people, right? And then they're creating this religion that supposedly that the savior of the Israelites is the savior for everybody, you know. But this is what, instead of him saying, he says Christendom is a nation, but there is no nation of Christians. All right, the Edomites are a nation of people. All right, the scripture says right here again, 2nd Ezra 6:9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau would be ruling at the end of the age, at the end of the age of what? The age of the heathen. And Jacob, the Israelites, are the beginning of it that follow it. But this devil just said, that's easy. Christian Edom is Christendom, the implacable, and you're gonna hear that word a lot, implacable, right? These because this is something they teach, right? You're gonna hear implacable a lot, right? And implacable. It says unable to be placated. It says unpacified. Here it is. These rabbis say that Christendom is Edom, but Christianity is their biggest supporters, especially the Edomite Christians in America. They're these people biggest supporters, evangelical Christianity. But these people view Christians as the enemy, right? They view them as Edom, when in reality, these are the Edomites. They're a nation of people.
And what will happen to them in the end times?
Oh, so that's really easy. So Edom is Christendom. It is the implacable enemy of the Jewish people.
The concept of Esau as Edom and as Rome was changed, transformed into a religion. So therefore, any nation that has that religion can be considered Esau. See, so therefore, it's not one nation that is now 2,000 years or whatever, but it is a religion, and any nation that has that religion predominantly is called Esau. Christianity, of course, ultimately became Western civilization. So Esau today is really Western civilization, because Western civilization is basically Christian.
No, but who rules over the Western civilization? The Lord said, "What 2 nations was in thy womb." You know, He didn't say 2 religions. All right, were in our womb. He said nations. All right, big nations, small nations. He said nations, man. But this is how the devil get down. To show you these people are liars. They're complete liars, man. And you should believe nothing that comes out of their mouth ever. This is the book of I'm sorry, Slacky. Genesis chapter 21, verse 19. It says, I'm sorry, it might be 25. Yeah, 25 and 19. Yep. This is yep. This is Genesis 25 and 19. It says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Pandanaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations, not 2 religions. All right. There's no Christianity is not against them Jews, man. They support them. We've done videos on this. And it's clear. Look at Vocab. He's fighting for them. Look at evangelical Christianity. They're fighting for them. Right? Some of their biggest donors are so-called westernized Christians from around the world, you know. But yet these people, they look at Christendom as the enemy. You see, they say that they're Esau, but no, these Edomites that are ruling in America, these Edomites that are into this so-called Christianity, which they don't really worship the Lord, right? Those are the Edomites. The Edomites are a people, is not a religion. Edom is a people. So he said, wherever they worship this religion that so-called came out of Rome, which that's Christianity, what you know as Christianity is not the same Christianity that the Israelites followed or the believers in Hamashiach followed. It's just not, right? And you have to be an Israelite to be a real Christian anyway, because you're an Israelite who believes in the Messiah. And we were first called Christians in Antioch. All right, that wasn't the name we put on ourselves. So it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. All right. So 2 nations are going to be in her womb. 2 different manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Right. So how can a religion serve the younger? Right. How's that possible? In the NLT, it says the Lord told her, the sons of your womb will become 2 nations. From the very beginning, the 2 nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and the older son will serve the younger. And we know that that's not what's happening in the state of Israel today. You have Ishmael and Edom or Amalek fighting with each other. Ishmael ain't stronger than Esau, Edom. The real Israelites are stronger than this devil. And in the end, no matter what this devil does, he's going to have to serve his younger brother, which is us. All right. But these are so-called rabbis. You know, they know more about the Talmud than they do about the scriptures, man. You know, because their interpretation is hella off. You know, this devil said that whatever nation follows this religion is considered Esau. You know, he's going off.
So therefore, any nation that has that religion can be considered Esau. See? So therefore, it's not one nation that is now 2,000 years or whatever, but it is a religion, and any nation that has that religion predominantly is called Esau. Christian.
Yeah, and in America, and when you talk about Western Christendom, these people don't really cherish or worry about that religion. They don't use that religion or its tenets to govern their nation. They just don't. They don't use the Bible to do any of that. They swear on it, they disrespect it, they mock it, but they don't govern themselves by it. You know? This devil talking about some there that any nation that is not a nation that's 2,000 years old. Yes, it is, because there's no end of the people. This is Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in them. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. And Esau got a harsh judgment coming to the whole entire nation, just like the nation of Montezarim got judged when we came out of Egypt by Yahweh Shai. They got judged by the Lord. All right, and he used Moses as his mouthpiece, right, to do all of this stuff. All right, all on the Egyptians got it. It wasn't just the top brass. It was from the top to the bottom. They all got it, slave or not. All right, and that's the same thing that's going to happen here in spiritual Egypt with Esau, Edom ruling. You know, but they're doing anything they can to try to distance themselves from prophecy, doing anything they can to try to distance themselves from the nation of Edom. That's why they don't give you a clear answer. You know, but they all say what is Christendom, but yet Christendom supports these people.
Christianity, of course, ultimately became Western civilization. Christianity, of course, ultimately became Western civilization. So Ace of today is really Western civilization, because Western civilization is basically Christian.
Or who rules Western civilization? Who pushes this Western civilization on the world? These Edomites. So don't the so-called white man. You do that. This whole westernization concept, which even in the state of Israel is westernized too. That thing ain't easternized. That's a westernized state within the Middle East. All right, completely westernized. It's nothing more than an Edomite colony in a desert.
And therefore, that is considered to be Esau.
Esau, who became Edom, who became the Roman Empire, which metamorphosed.
Yeah, but Esau was a person. Then he had children, which became a nation, and then they were the Edomites. Those people that were calling themselves Romans, you had Edomites that were called Idumeans back then. Antipater. When you look at pictures of the Edomites, I just typed in the 12 Roman emperors, right? These are all so-called white. If they were walking the earth today, these people would be considered so-called white men of a high class, wealthy, running around here doing what an Edomite do. All these dudes. Look at Trump right here. You know, these are so-called white men. But he said that they went from being Esau to a people to the Roman Empire. Then you got the Greeks, right? Salakia. I might have took that page. Oh, yeah, I took that page down. But these are all Edomites, and then you got Jake's sprinkled in there after the 12 emperors. But the 12 emperors, these are Edomites, man, who called themselves or who labeled themselves Romans after they conquered them people and took their nationality and took the things that were agreeable unto them. But you still had Edomites in Edom, the land of Edom. Herod, Antipater, the Idumean, you know, right? Antipater, his children were Phasael, Herod the Great. That's one of the key ones right there. Herod the Great. He was an Edomite, right? It says Antipater the first, the Idumean, was the founder of the Herodian dynasty and the father of Herod the Great. According to Josephus, he was the son of Antipas and had formerly held that name. A native of Idumea, right? Which we know is Edom right here. Idumea is Edom, right? A region southwest of Judah in which the Edomites settled during the classical period. Antipater became a powerful official under the latter Hasmonean kings and subsequently became the client of the Roman general Pompey the Great. These are all Edomites. Another Edomite. When Pompey conquered Judah in the name of the Roman Republic. All right, Julius Caesar, another Edomite. Pompey. After Julius Caesar defeated Pompey at the Battle of Pharsalus, Antipater sided with Caesar. That's what they do. During the Roman Civil War, during the Caesar's Egyptian campaign, Antipater joined Mithridates of Pergamon's army, marching to rescue Caesar in Alexandria. Caesar made him the chief minister of Judea, and as Judah became known as to the Romans, as Judah became known to the Romans with the right to collect taxes. Eventually, Caesar made Antipater's sons, Phasaelus and Herod, the governors of Jerusalem and Galilee, respectively. These are all Edomites. After the assassination of Caesar, Antipater was forced to side with the liberators against the Caesareans or Caesareans. The pro-Roman politics of Antipater led to his increasing unpopularity among the devout non-Hellenized Jews because they knew that he wasn't an Israelite, you know. So these people, they still exist even back then, just like they do today. You know, the vast majority of these Eastern European Jays, they're all converts, right? They're not the real people. These are the Edomites. You're looking at the Edomites. You see Joe Biden, Trump, those are Edomites.
Into the Christian Empire. Esau became Edom. They became the Roman Empire, which metamorphosed into the Christian Empire.
What is the Christian Empire? Where is that at?
Which became Christian civilization, which is now represented by the United States of America.
So this is what the Jews think. The Jews say that Edom is America. But on one hand, they're your biggest supporters. If it wasn't for America, they wouldn't even be a state. What's the dude, Harry S. Truman? He the one that signed off on it. He took credit for making this thing a state. All right? He took credit for that. Okay? But this dude, he said that is American now, which spiritually it is. Because who's ruling America? The Edomites, man. Your George Washingtons, your Abraham Lincolns, your all them Edomite presidents, man. Those are all Edomites, man. And they were enslaving and destroying the true Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
suffer a crushing, humiliating defeat,
Esau,
which they are.
represented by the United States of America, which is now represented by the United States of America, will suffer a crushing, humiliating defeat.
Esau,
And they will. They are. America is going to suffer a crushing and humiliating defeat, but by who? By Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. All right, that's what's going to happen. But again, these people, this is shows you how hypocritical these people are, man. You know, here, if Esau can metamorph himself into a kingdom of Romans and Christian, a Roman kingdom, a Christian kingdom, and then the United States, then who are the Israelites? What did they morph into? How did they not morph into something into an empire? How did they just morph into these people that you see today claiming to be from the tribe of Judah over there? That makes no sense. Jacob and Esau were children, were men. They created nations, a nation amongst themselves. The nation of Israel, Yasha'Allah, the nation of Edom, Idumea, Adawanyam. All right? The lies, man. These people are straight up liars, man.
Suffer a crushing, humiliating defeat.
Esau is everything that's wicked in the world, and it's the Edom. Esau is Edom. It's the final kingdom of the four kingdoms. It's the greatest, most implacable enemy of the Jewish people. Prophesy. We have whole books devoted to the destruction of Edom at the end of days. This is the last kingdom. In traditional Jewish thinking, it's the church. It's the implacable enemy of the Jews. It's a morphing kingdom. It's unlike the previous kingdoms. It begins as Rome, and then it morphs, becomes Christian in the 4th century, and then it divides and divides and divides.
So who's Edom? Edom includes most of Europe. It includes the United States of America. It's the Roman Empire that was never destroyed.
Edom becomes America. Why? Because America is Edom, after all.
Esau, with modern day terms, is really basically, certainly one of them is America.
But for those who don't understand that Italy is the seat of the Roman Empire of Edom, even though Edom is scattered, many other nations today that speak Latin languages that have some things of the Roman Empire, including America.
Hey, this man's a devil. Hey, this man's a devil, bro. Hey, this Malachi, this man's a fucking devil, bro. All he do is lie, bro. This man lie. He not even good at it, bro. That's the thing. When you got this truth, you can tell this nigga lying through his teeth, man. Hey, this is Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of Yahweh Bashim Hamashai to Israel by Malachi. It says, the Most High loves Jacob. That's right. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's what's going to happen to America. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness. Listen to this. The people, not no Christendom religion, okay, not just the Roman Empire as you call it, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire didn't run itself. It was ran by people. Then they say, oh, you see how it keeps switching? They say that, oh, it's any Latin speaking country, you know, it's the seat of is the Roman Catholic Church. But they all in the same bowl together. They hang out together. They talk with one another. They're not warring with one another. They're on the same page with everything, right? It says the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So the Lord has a never-ending indignation and hatred for the people of Edom, even though they are still moving and grooving in this earth. The Lord don't like these people, man. Look, it says Esau's descendants. Not no religion. Esau's descendants in Edom may say, we have shattered. I'm sorry. It says, we have been shattered, but we will build ruins. But the Lord of heaven's armies replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. And that's what the Lord is going to do to this place. He demolished ancient Rome. He's going to demolish America and the state of Israel and their rulership, period. They may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness. That's America. America is truly the land of wickedness, man. And their people will be called the people with whom the Lord is forever angry. So the Lord is forever angry with these devils, man. So at a point, they're right when they say America is Edom. When Rome, ancient Rome was Edom, why? Because it was ruled by Edomites. It wasn't just running itself. America don't run itself. When you look at why is it, if America's is the Jewish people enemy, why are there so many Jays at high position in America? Again, if Esau or if America is, these people over there, their biggest enemy to the Jewish people, why do you have Jays in high position in America, within America, at extreme high levels within America? The Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, she's the head of the Federal Reserve, right? She's a J. And the Attorney General, Mark Garland, he's a J. All right, Secretary of Homeland Security, a J. Director of National Intelligence. This doesn't make any sense. How can America be the nation of Edom? It's run by the nation of Edom, right? The Edomites own and operate this place, starting with the super elite, the Rothschilds. America is Edom's base, greatest base on our earth, right? Their military might come from here. Their financial might come from London. Their spiritual might come from Rome. Okay, those 3 city-states. It says the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines. The White House Chief of Staff is Ron Klain, right? The Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. The Deputy Secretary of State, Wendy Sherman. The Secretary of State for Political Affairs, Victoria Nuland. All these are small hats, man. And the list goes on. But yet these people say that America is their greatest enemy, and it's really not. It's their biggest supporter. All right? America is their biggest supporter. And they know it.
They are first. Some think of the Roman Empire, including America. Even though Edom is scattered, many other nations today that speak Latin languages that have some think of the Roman Empire, including America. They are first. So Edom is everywhere, and the United States of America is also part of Edom.
And it is. That's right. I just said that. So he's telling the truth. Edom is everywhere, and America is a part of Edom. It's a major part in Edom. All right? That's true. That's absolutely true. Just like them Jays that are in the land of Israel, we know it, those are Edomites. Them Jays in the UK, all throughout Europe, those are all Edomites. All right? When they made the Treaty of Rome, Slovakia. When they made the Treaty of Rome, it was Edomite nations, so-called European nations. Those are all Edomite nations. All right, that formed and created that. Okay, let me play this.
So Edom is everywhere, and the United States of America is also part of Edom.
Malchut Edom, which includes all of America, Europe, and some of the Western Quarter.
And don't forget Israel, state of Israel either.
Becomes the children of Esav. All of a sudden, it shifts now, and we talk about Galut Edom as who? As Rome, and eventually Western civilization.
The Edomites are the descendants of Edom, who is also known as Esau, Jacob's evil twin. Our tradition tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all.
And they are. Those Romans, those Roman generals, we showed pictures of them earlier. Their real ancestors were Edomites. That's the truth. So they put a little bit of truth in there, but then they start bringing a whole bunch of lies.
Europeans and the entire Christian world. That tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all Europeans and the entire Christian world.
Of all Europeans. You hear that? And they let it go quick. They let it go quick. We telling you this. From the apostles to the bishop elders, we're telling you this. and no one's listening. And they're telling you, but then they're lying. This the only dude that told the truth about that. And he's a J. He's the only one.
It tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all Europeans and the entire Christian world.
That is something. Who is
So I really don't gotta play no more of that. Cause this dude, he said a mouthful, man. He said a great mouthful right here. You know, he talking about it shifts. It didn't shift. How does a nation of people shift? You know what I'm saying? It's a
The
lie.
Edomites are the descendants of Edom, who is also known as Esau, Jacob's evil twin. Our tradition tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all Europeans and the entire Christian world.
that is something.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the truth right there. That's where it stops at. It don't go to Christendom. It don't go to some make-believe religion. No, it's a nation of people, including these people. All right? And that's the truth. This is the book of Romans. Thought I had it. Yeah, Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. That's right. The Most High can love who he wants to love and hate who he wants to hate. Okay? And he hates Esau and he loves Jacob. And it says, verse 15, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but the Most High that showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. And how did the Lord show his power in Pharaoh? He destroyed him. And so that's the same thing he did with Esau at the end. He raised him back up so that he can show his power through his son. When he finally take this man down and rescues the elect of his people. Which you got Israelites scattered amongst these people. All right? But the vast majority of these people are Edomites. They done. Just like Esau is scattered, Jacob is scattered. The Israelites are scattered. We speak about that. You know? Okay, it says, and so the Lord raising this man up to show his power when he destroys him. And it says, verse 18, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he hardeneth, he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault for who have resisted his will? Right? Because people will say, well, he made him that way. Why he going to destroy him? Because the Lord can do what he want. This is his movie. This ain't our movie. Nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay? And the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is the potter. And the clay is us. And he forms man in the likeness that he wants to form him in. With the mind, and gives him the mind that he wants to give him. All right? But Esau, he questions the Lord. You know, he questions him. It says, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump, to make one vessel unto honor and another to dishonor? Right. The Edomites as a nation are a vessel of dishonor. The Israelites are a nation that's likened into a vessel of honor. We are, you know. So these people, they can miss us with all of that. You know, Esau is Christendom. Esau is a religion. Esau is whoever follows Christianity. Whoever follows Esau is Western civilization. No, Esau pushes all those things. Esau exalts all those things, and a whole lot more wickedness. This guy said it's anybody that's wicked. No, the wicked there's the wicked and there's the wicked. You know, our people are wicked. They become wicked. They become corrupt. But Esau is corrupt. He can't be changed. He can't do righteousness. He just can't. Right? It says, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. And that's what he did with these devils. He's dealt with them because he's just bearing with them because he's going to bring them to their knees very shortly. All right, he's going to destroy them very shortly. So, we had 50-minute mark. I didn't mean to go this long, but it was the spirit. Definitely glad that this guy was able to say what he said it towards the end of this lesson, because he's the only one that spoke the truth. To a point, he the only one. I'll play that again because I want to hear that again.
The Edomites are the descendants of Edom, who is also known as Esau, Jacob's evil twin. Our tradition tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all Europeans and the entire Christian world.
There it is. They're the ancestors of the Romans and entirely the Europeans, as well as the so-called Western world.
Our tradition tells us that the Edomites are the ancestors of the Romans, and indeed of all Europeans and the entire Christian world.
So he said, he goes off there. You see, he tells the truth a little bit, and then he tells a lie. He said it's the entire Christian world, and it's not. It's the Edomites are the ancestors of those ancient pagan Romans, emperors, and their rulership, their ruling class. Before they was dumb, you had some that were Greeks that were calling themselves Greeks. Philip of Macedon was a Edomite. Alexander the Great was an Edomite. Even though he didn't put hell on the temple or the people at the time of his life, his generals did that. They're Edomites. All right? And then these so-called founders of this country in Spain and Portugal, because they're not the founders of those places, but they took them over and they conquered them. These people today, these are the Edomites, man, the so-called white man. And that includes the so-called J. All right? And then you do have these, who runs and operates Christianity? Esau, Edom. These different church fathers, or these different branches of Christianity, all Edomites, man. Who's sitting in the seat of the Pope? Edomites. Right? So, hey, with that, I want to say shalom and on to the next.